Last week in Stillwater, Section 231 got etched into Polk's lore. What started as one shirtless fan turned into a groundswell of support and a viral moment. Now, despite all the losses, the Oklahoma State fans have showed up again tonight, Don Davenport.
Yeah, it's not Section 231, Mike. It's No Shirty one now. The university embracing the viral movement, all started by a guy named Trent Eaton. Not a student, by the way, a 40-year-old. He's a man who just simply accepted a $10 bet from his younger sister to cross the stadium, take his shirt off, and throw it around his head last week. He told me he never expected it to turn into this. Now, I talked to some of the players. DB Cam Smith said they saw it during the game. They laughed at it, and they said, man, we have the best fan base ever. They always show up. Guys, he is hoping that they can give these shirtless guys something positive today to fling those shirts around.
I love it. How great is that? They're everywhere, of all ages as well, in front of Don Davenport here at Boone Pickens Stadium. Homecoming in Stillwater, and they've got the 24th ranked team in the country here. Cincinnati won the toss and deferred, so the Cowboys will get it first. Steven Rusnak with the kick, and it'll come out to the 25 for the Oklahoma State offense. For Sam Jackson V, he was an ESPN 300 recruit. He went to TCU. He sat behind Max Duggan and Chandler Morris. Transferred to Cal. Ended up the starter at times over Ben Finley and Fernando Mendoza in 23. But he knows his future is probably not at quarterback. So transferred last year to Auburn to play wide receiver, came here to Stillwater, and as recently, Kirk, as 2 weeks ago, was still playing wide receiver, was returning kicks for them as well.
It's the more you can do. And look, an opportunity to play college football. Show off what you do. And this is one thing about him. He realizes on the next level, he's probably going to play wide receiver, but showing more what he can do at quarterback.
Rodney Fields Jr. is his top running back, 5'9" redshirt freshman who picks up 4. I mean, what a story this is for Sam Jackson, directing this offense that has had 8 different players throw a pass this year. That's the most for Oklahoma State since 1958. He's athletic, strings it out wide, and then he slides down, and he will lose yardage. Trayvon Gola-Collard credited with the stop, and it brings up third down.
Yeah, and this is a big down right here for Cincinnati's defense. They've seen a lot of third and longs, and yet they've also seen a lot of fourth down. So this is a big down for the Cincinnati defense, but also a big down for this first drive for Oklahoma State offensively to try to keep this offense of Cincinnati on the sideline.
Doug Meacham's the interim head coach, and he said to us, if we're going to pull off an upset, we've got to have a good start. Protection held up. Jackson down the sideline, too strong. Intended for Terrell Davis. There was a lot of contact, but no flag, and it's fourth down.
Yeah, a lot of contact late, it looked like, but Logan Wilson was step for step number 7. That's a nice job of staying in phase, and just watch the end of this one. He's right there. The best thing about that was what? He had his head turned back. He was locating the football. When you have a cornerback who's in position, looking back at the football, very rarely will you get a call like that.
Well, there is Doug Meacham, who had been the offensive coordinator. He wanted a good start, but sturdy work from Cincinnati's defense. Manny Covey, the redshirt sophomore running back, is back deep. Got a flag down at the line of scrimmage as well, and Covey takes it from the 28. And Covey gets it out to the 35, and we've got a second flag that comes in at the end of it as well, right near the return. So we got to check 2 markers. We'll check in with his Big 12 crew led by Michael Vandervelde.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Offside, number 3, defense. That penalty is declined. Illegal block in the back, number 44, return team. That penalty will be enforced 10 yards, first down.
So it was 4th and 7, so they declined the offsides on Kai Stokes. All right, Brendan Sorsby from Denton, Texas, didn't even get offered by Indiana until after his senior year of high school. 2 seasons there. In 23, started 7 games, coaching change. Cincinnati was all over him early in the portal. Really good in the first half last year. Really good in the first half of this season again, Kirk.
Yeah, and look, to me, it's been about the offseason for Brendan Sorsby. He says he wanted to be a much better passer in terms of accuracy and hanging and staying in the pocket. Well, through 6 games, he's shown that, Mike. This offense right now is humming.
Told you how good he's been. How about 19 total touchdowns and just the 1 turnover? It came in week 1. Cincinnati fans remember it well on that Thursday at Arrowhead against Nebraska. Only loss of the season for the Bearcats. Evan Pryor is the home run hitter and running back with a lane up the middle. How's that for a start for this explosive offense with Evan Pryor for 31?
Well, it's easy when you got guys who miss tackles. Kenneth Harris, number 23, he's the corner on the left side. Watch the left side. An unblocked player, 23, he's right there, misses the tackle. And then you just mentioned it, Mike, getting him into the open field. Mr. Pryor, that's where this offense is electric.
Dynamic fifth-year senior is the leading rusher, and he averages 8 yards per carry. Gets it again with a massive hole from this offensive line. Gets wrapped up by Malik Charles, very close to a first down.
Well, you better stay home when you talk about Evan Pryor, because if you don't, this is what happens. He gets the football, and he will test your edges. He will test the backside of the defense.
Had a huge game in week 6 against Iowa State. It wasn't enough for a first down. Sorsby maybe setting up a double pass. Instead, Cyrus Allen tucks it. Picks up positive yardage.
Was that a double pass?
Might have been.
It might have been. Look, kind of quirky there. You just remember, they want to get the ball to Cyrus Allen as many ways as possible. You know, Coach talked about it this week. Coach Satterfield, it's about getting Allen the football, whether it's behind the line of scrimmage or in front of the line of scrimmage. Number 4 is going to touch the ball a lot today.
Second down and 7 from just inside the 35. Allen in motion, Pryor the give off the left side, crashing into bodies for a first down. And there's so much to like for Scott Satterfield in this offense. Again, he's been running this offense for a while. For all his stops, of course, he calls the plays for Cincinnati. And he told us, through all his years, this might be the best it's ever operated. Great start at 5-1, equaling the win total from last season. Out of empty on first down, Sorsby to Allen across the middle, broken tackle, touchdown. Cincinnati strikes first. The offense as advertised in Stillwater.
And it's just too easy for the quarterback. He realized I got covered too, but I also got a linebacker on my receiver, Cyrus Allen. I'll take that matchup all day. It's a quick inside route, and you allow Cyrus Allen a catch and run element. Well, he ran right into the end zone for the touchdown.
Man, how about the offense in just a tick under 2 minutes, marching nearly 70 yards down the field and gashing Oklahoma State. Rusnak the extra point, and everything you said, Kirk, about this offense and Cincinnati being for real has proved true early.
Well, it's already just showing you what it is. This Bearcat offense, they are for real, and it's because of the running game, the quarterback, and now Allen. Bearcats up 7. Back here in Stillwater, just want you to watch this touchdown. Oklahoma State defensively, they're in a cover 2-man, but you have your best receiver and Cyrus Allen run a short route on the linebacker. The quarterback sees it, and just watch the lane that Cyrus Allen has to run. It's an easy pitch and catch, but watch Allen take off and go.
They're pretty nice for the Texas A&M transfer who started his career at Louisiana Tech. Gavin Freeman, the slot wide receiver, gets buried at the 16-yard line. Well, we had Brendan Sorsby mic'd up, and it's time now for our drive recap brought to you by AutoZone.
I said I don't want to throw to you until the game. All right, I got you. You know what I'm saying? That way we don't lose that special feeling that we get whenever we have a first completion.
Guys, you know Sorsby said that Cyrus Allen let him have it a bit last week with just 1 catch, and Brendan told him, dude, I only had 12 completions. You think that's what I want? I got you next week. I got you. And here you go. He sure did.
Well, he's doubled that already. He's got 2 on the first drive alone, Don.
R.J. Fields strung out by Jake Golday. Got around the edge and then finishes the run on Christian Harrison. Rodney's son picks up 4 yards.
And so early on now, we already see, hey, Cincinnati's offense has scored, and what does Oklahoma State do? It's about plays today. Yards, plays, trying to just score points, but keep Cincinnati's offense on the sideline.
A shift in play caller this week for Oklahoma State. The quarterback's coach, Kevin Johns, a longtime offensive coordinator, has taken over play calling duty from the interim head coach, Doug Meacham, who had been, of course, the offensive coordinator. Jackson on the slant. Good coverage from Logan Wilson on Terrell Davis. Third down coming up.
Oh, nice job there again by Logan Wilson. He had the play on the last drive. I thought he may arrive just a little bit early, but that looked to be perfect timing by Wilson, getting the right hand in there to knock that play away.
As you look at Kevin Johns, who told us he found out pretty early in the week Doug Meacham took a little bit of time to think about the choice he wanted to make. Doug Meacham said to us, I wasn't doing a very good job on the offensive side of the ball. Another big third down. Jackson climbs, got rid of it, and Gavin Freeman goes down to make the catch. First down, Oklahoma State in a pickup of 11, and that was much needed.
Oh, much needed. You hear the crowd right there. They're excited about that one. But a nice job of pressing the line of scrimmage with Sam Jackson, and it made the defenders have to pause just one beat, Mike, just a second. And that's where Freeman freed up for the first down. And just Freeman just working, finds a spot. That ball's delivered, and that's a first down.
Jackson pulls it. Plenty of time on the roll. And now Jackson picks up positive yardage. Strung out by Jake Golday, the fifth-year senior. All kinds of time for Sam Jackson.
Yeah, I think he's just showing off back there. He just got a little pirouette in the backfield and then just takes off. And he's toying with the defense a little bit. He's got great speed. And you saw it there. The ability to still scan the field and say, you know what, I'll just take what the defense gives me. Runs out of bounds.
Think about this from his perspective as well. He knows his best chance to get to the NFL is at wide receiver.
Yeah.
But because of injuries and other situations at quarterback, they turn to him to take over here in the middle of the season. Pre-snap flag.
Yeah, I think they get the right guard, Jacoby Sanders here, 75.
False start, number 75. Offense, 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Filling in for Noah McKinney, who's going to hit the portal. And Doug Meacham, again, handing things off to Kevin Johns with a lot on his plate. An Oklahoma State former offensive lineman who's had multiple stints here on the coaching staff. Was in his first year as the OC, brought in by Mike Gundy, who of course got fired 3.5 weeks ago.
Yeah, he didn't realize the role of head coach. He's never been a head coach in his coaching career, and he realized, wait, I need some help. It's more than just drawing plays as a head coach.
Quick one into tight coverage. Matt McDoom on Shamar Rigby, but there's a flag down. Very well could be pass interference on McDoom, the super fast senior corner who transferred in from Coastal Carolina.
Pass interference, number 0. Defense, spot foul, automatic, first down.
Yeah, that time McDoom just gave him restriction. Just watch the restriction of the left hand. See, he got there, that little restriction restricts the receiver, Rigby, from getting to the football. That flag comes out immediately.
It's a Cincinnati defense under Tyson Veit that, by Scott Satterfield's own admission, has been bend, don't break. Gave up 400-plus yards to UCF in a win last week. On the ground, Rodney Fields lumbers forward for about 5.
I want you to take a look throughout this game, especially at the play clock. See this number right there? That's the number that I'm thinking about, Mike, because they want to keep this and run this play clock down all the way inside of 10 seconds just because they know the less plays for Cincinnati's offense helps out this game for them.
Another thing, Kurt, it helps out Sam Jackson. He was super excited about that when I talked to him today because he said he's great with the playbook, but his head was swimming with trying to diagnose and communicate everything so quickly.
And around, Gavin Freeman, the wide receiver, gets buried out of bounds. He got popped by, looked like Antoine Peak along the sideline. A pickup of 13, though.
Yeah, we've seen some gadgets early on, right? This time, just a little end around that you give to Freeman. And then now he makes a couple of guys miss, and here comes Mr. Peak laying the lumber at the end. It's a nice legal hit, too. All shoulder. You know, a lot of people always think you see the big hit, and immediately you think of targeting. But that time, I thought led with the shoulder. Perfectly clean hit by Peak at the end.
How many times have we seen that throughout his career? A hard-hitting redshirt junior former walk-on. But a fresh set of downs at Oklahoma State into plus territory. Rodney Fields running physically toward the 45-yard pickup. And if the Cowboys are going to sustain drives, feels like Rodney Fields has got to be right in the middle of it.
Well, I think he's their most dynamic player. And he's a steady player, right? A guy who you can kind of blitz. It's funny to say that he's only the redshirt freshman, right? So R.J. Fields is a guy that has shown you, regardless of what's happening with the head coach, all the off-the-field noise, he's been there still, a steady player.
Kevin John said to us, probably our most dynamic guy out of the backfield. So we want to get him in space. From the 41, it's Fields again with a stiff arm for Jack Dingle. And a first down pickup for Oklahoma State.
I love this offensive line. We haven't talked about it. You've had guys go to the portal. You have guys redshirt. You got guys moving all around. But watch up front. Look at this blocking up front. You got big 76 Bob Schick. He's over there getting his block man on man and getting some good push on this Cincinnati front.
Good for an offense that has struggled so much this year. 131st in the country in yards per play. 130th in points per game at 16 a game. Jackson had to get rid of it. Found Freeman, who slipped a tackle. Freeman ducks inside the 30. Jackson had heat right in the face, and then Freeman made a man miss.
Look, you're seeing this everything going which away. And that time making Monte Whedon, he's the linebacker. He's right there. He's got Freeman in his grasp. Oh, just a little stiff arm brings him down. But what have we seen so far offensively? I love this opening drive for Kevin Johns, or the second drive for Kevin Johns. What we've seen bootlegs, we've seen waggles, misdirection, really throwing off this defense of Cincinnati.
10th play of the drive here. Game 7. It's only their 7th drive to go at least 10 plays all season. Fields with a cut. He got tripped up by Trayvon Gola-Collard, or else it might have been Fields for a house call.
Oh, man, just double teams, guards pulling around. Just watch the offensive line work. You got the big center. He's pulling around as well. So you've got a little bit of everything going for this offensive line right now, getting a hat on a hat.
I mean, how good does this look for the Cowboys, led by Kevin Johns, and another week for Sam Jackson? And Don mentioned how comfortable Sam Jackson was feeling with this week and a new look offense going at a slower tempo.
I think Jackson holds one right here, Mike.
He does. Around the edge, goes spinning away from Peak into the red zone. And why'd you think that was coming for him?
Because red zone. The red zone rules are once that ball gets inside the 20-yard line, quarterbacks, they come alive. And with these tight quarters, we've seen dive, run with the running back. At some point, you think the defense is going to get a little nosy, and that's where the quarterback keeps it.
Kevin Johns, a former offensive coordinator at Indiana, Western Michigan, Texas Tech, Memphis, and then most recently at Duke. Jackson now motions out, direct snap, Rodney Fields. Blown up in the hole. Simeon Coleman, the violent sophomore will linebacker, in on the stop after 1, and it's 3rd down.
Yeah, nice job by Simeon Coleman. 31 was like a heat-seeking missile. He saw that guard pull, and it said, I'm done with this. And that's a nice job of watching and understanding. With Jackson motioning out, the big play there has to be direct snap to the running back. Nice job of play recognition.
I got it.
A drive that is chewed up 7.5 minutes reaches 3rd down for Sam Jackson. Three-man rush. Jackson, Davis, the drop. Costly from Terrell Davis. And now what do you do here on 4th down? Looks like the field goal unit coming out.
Oh, man, they had everything. This was what they wanted. Terrell Davis, he came in motion at the top. He had that one-on-one route. It was similar to the touchdown throw earlier by Sorsby to Allen. They ran the same exact play, with just the incompletion right there through the hands of Davis.
So you got a chance to come away with points anyway from 32 for Logan Ward. Richard Sr. from Edmond, Oklahoma, who originally arrived as a walk-on, and he splits the uprights to get Oklahoma State on the board. Doug Meacham, the interim head coach, gave up the play calling. A really good drive right there for the Pokes.
ESPN College Football Primetime is presented by Geico Switch and Save. Get more with Geico.
They call it America's Greatest Homecoming. This is the 104th edition. It's serious business here at Oklahoma State. Incredible artwork as well. You've got the walk around on Friday nights. That's the most famous part of homecoming here in Stillwater. Great scene here for number 24 Cincinnati against Oklahoma State at just 1-5, 0-3 in the Big 12 since the firing of Mike Gundy. But a very encouraging drive right there from the Cowboys. Logan Ward ready to boot this away after a 14-play drive, second longest drive of the season for Oklahoma State's offense. Looks like Ward slipped. The kick goes short just inside the 20, and this is run out past the 25 by Gavin Grover, the tight end. Just over 4 minutes to go in the first. We step back aside. Kirk, your best word. Cincinnati is 5-1 and could be 6-0 if not for a close loss in front of America's most famous couple at Arrowhead in Week 1. Sorsby had the costly interception that capped the loss to Nebraska. But Week 5, a huge come-from-behind win at Kansas, and then they followed it up with the signature win of the Scott Satterfield era, beating Iowa State for their highest-ranked home win since 2006 at Nippert. So they come here halfway through the season on the road. Evan Pryor was great on that first drive, but he runs into the arms of Mike Diatta and Kyron Duhan on first down.
Yeah, so they're going to go back to Pryor, and it's been kind of a running back duo. I call him the Bearcat, right? You got the big bear and Tyree Walker and the cat-like reflexes of Evan Pryor. I love the way that both these running backs run in tandem, but this group of wide receivers, they just brought. Like this, they just are still getting through the process of learning each other after a lot of cutting through the transfer portal, Mike. It's been interesting and fun to see which guy is going to be the featured player each week for the offense at wide receiver.
For this great Cincinnati start, so ranked for the first time since 22. Pryor with that great jump cut to get at least a couple of yards and avoid a loss. Mordecai McDaniel, ascending safety, bumps him out. It's third down at 8.
Yeah, nice job, but it's the big third down here. This is where they want to show improvement from last week. Too many 3-and-outs. And here they are backed up again, 3rd and 8. Who's your gotta-have-it guy? Who's your guy that you go to here? Sorsby. Great distribution of the football, but who's the gotta-have-it on 3rd and 8?
Oklahoma State getting its personnel aligned. Play clock winding down. Pressure comes. It's picked up. Sorsby checked down. His tight end, Joe Royer, goes hurdling for a first down. One of the elite tight ends in the country. A security blanket for Brendan Sorsby.
Yeah, he's a security blanket, and I should have said, you know what? Keep my eye on Royer, number 11. He does it so sneaky, though. I call him, he's a sneaky tight end. You know why? Because he engages with the block, and then after the block, he gets out, and he's a last second, like you mentioned, a reliable, short-handed receiver, laying it down on 3rd, and he converts with that nice little hurdle for a first down.
Sixth-year senior Cincinnati native. Sorsby flipped the hips beautifully and dropped it in to Isaiah Johnson, the transfer from FCS Western Carolina for 15.
So we've seen Johnson, Allen, Royer. I mean, he gets everyone the football, and this is what you like about Sorsby and this offense. And they're already quick on the field. Big-time shot alert here. Once they cross the 50-yard line, they like to take a shot down the field.
From the 44, Sorsby looking sideline and physical coverage there on Caleb Goody from Eric Fletcher. The redshirt freshman backup corner in the transfer from East Carolina.
Yeah, nice job by Fletcher. You saw the hat come off from the official on that near side. That told me that a nice job by Fletcher pushing the receiver out of bounds. That way he's ineligible to be the first guy to touch the football. So nice coverage there by Eric Fletcher using the 12th defender sideline.
Tyree Walker splits a lane, and Walker runs physically, and then the pile pushes all the way inside the 30. for a first down and a pickup of 15, running against this defense led by acting defensive coordinator Clint Bowen. Third game on the job. Veteran defensive coordinator Todd Grantham got fired a week after Mike Gundy got fired.
Yeah, it's been kind of a chaotic move over the last couple of weeks. Coaches changing positions, but Bowen, he's been steady so far in his conversations with this team. Just want to get guys lined up, ready to go.
See the Cowboys getting aligned here against 12 personnel for Cincinnati with the two tight ends. Sorsby, Royer's got a first down into the red zone as he gets wrangled down, and a pickup of 19 yards to the stud tight end Joe Royer.
Yeah, just watch Royer. When I told you earlier where he like hides, watch, I see how he kind of like just hides right in here. Look at him. He just hide, block, and then he gets out late. This is what Royer does. You kind of just see how he blocks. You're like, oh, okay, I don't have to worry about him. And then he just gets out late in the route. That's what you call a security blanket for the quarterback. When everything's taken, he always knows he's got Royer right there who kind of got twisted up at the end of that play.
A little scary there for the guy who spent 4 years at Ohio State. Now this offense, as we said off the top, enters the red zone where they have been elite. Walker is run down off the right side by Wendell Gregory. It's a loss of 3.
Well, if you don't block Wendell, this is what happens. Wendell Gregory comes off the edge. Number 4, just, you don't block him, he's going to jump on the back of your running back.
Cincinnati on the road in Stillwater and trying to keep it rolling and trying to stay perfect in the Big 12. They've got a 7-3 lead at the end of 1.
Well, Coach Meacham, you told us this week that you needed to get some momentum early. Your defense playing with a lot of emotion. What have you liked so far?
So far, I just see a group of guys that are all together. I don't see the negativity or bad body language. I see a lot of guys that are all in and out there just fighting for this crowd. It's a great homecoming crowd, and they're excited to be here.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, yeah.
Don, thank you. We start the second with an option pitch around the edge. Cyrus Allen is in. Touchdown, Cincinnati. His second touchdown tonight.
You couldn't draw it up any better. And you come out of a timeout, but just watch the challenge that it puts Wendell Gregory in. He's out there, he's like, do I play quarterback, do I play pitch? And then Sorsby gets it all the way to the outside. He pitches to Allen. There's just nobody there, not a Cowboy in sight. It's 9 plays, 71 yards. They converted on third down, Mike, and then they cashed it in the red zone like we talked about again.
How lethal has this offense been for Cincinnati? They have run 14 plays. They have piled up 150 yards of total offense.
To me, it's just the red zone, too. Right? We've already seen how effective they are in the red zone. And me and you, we always talk about this, right, Mike? Like when you get into plays after a quarter break, after a timeout, always expect something because you've had time to talk about it a little bit. Well, they had time to talk about running an option. Who would have thought option down here at the red zone? And yet you've got the quarterback, right quarterback to do it. And our guy Cyrus Allen, remember he talked about last week, I wanted the ball. Well, you're getting the ball, Allen. He's got 2 touchdowns on 3 touches.
All these weapons, especially a wide receiver that they brought in around Brendan Sorsby. And this offense continues to hum here on the road in Stillwater. Told you they woke up this morning one of 3 unbeaten teams atop the Big 12, but Texas Tech went down against Arizona State, so things open up even a little bit more for Cincinnati in the conference.
Yeah, a little surprised they stormed the field in Tempe after going to the college football playoff a year ago.
Gavin Freeman ready to get it from Steven Rusnak. Booms one for a touchback, and we check in with Kevin Connors in the studio.
All right, Mike, time for your Chick-fil-A move on the field after a Ty Simpson touchdown pass gave Alabama the lead. Here comes Joey Aguilar and Braylon Staley.
Yeah, good thing they're going through the air because Tennessee's rushing is 0.0 yards.
Here's Aguilar to Staley for 6.
And that ties the game. This is shaping up as a quarterback duel.
Over on ABC, Mike, 7-7.
Kevin Trevor, thank you very much. We welcome you back to Stillwater. Mike Monaco, Kirk Morrison, Don Davenport, and our entire crew with you. Oklahoma State back with it after the 14-play drive that only ended in 3 points. Rodney Fields around the right side. Scampers into plus territory. And finally banged out of bounds by Jaquan Sanks. Rodney Fields has shown up tonight for Oklahoma State with 41.
No, that's just a nice job and getting out to the outside. Cam Apshire, watch the wide receiver on the outside. He gets just enough of a block to allow Fields to get to the outside. That's great team blocking, and you see the speed of Fields, the most electric player for this offense.
Again, he's their leading rusher. He's also their second leading receiver, and he's going to have a huge role the rest of the way for Oklahoma State. Gets a breather here as Sesi Vailahi comes in.
You got to find ways to get him the football, right? You mentioned it. Handing it off, throwing it to him, get number 20 the football in orange. That play clock, number 10.
Just as they want it. And here's Vailahi with a big lane, and he goes hurtling for a first down and more. How about all this momentum offensively for the Cowboys?
And you like the run game, too. They're keeping it on the ground and utilizing what they do best. Watch this run. It just gets right downhill, right in between those tackles. Number 10, Tayton Barnes, comes in and finishes it off with the tackle. But we've seen some success so far, Mike, honestly, in between the tackles.
We talked about soaking time on the clock, time of possession, and the flip side of it, Cincinnati has dealt with that from opponents all season, and because they go up-tempo, and because they've been so explosive, games have followed this kind of script. Jackson takes a shot toward the end zone and batted away at the last moment by Ormani Arnold on Christian Fitzpatrick. What a play.
Oh, what a play. And that's exciting stuff on the opposite side. When you see Ormani Arnold just gets his left hand in there, did not restrict the wide receiver. That's a terrific job of keeping his hand in there. Both guys have the right to the football, but it was Ormani Arnold's left hand that was in between those hands of the receiver that knocked that ball away.
Arnold, the redshirt junior corner, who's back healthy this week after he missed last week. Pretty good ball there from Sam Jackson as well. Second down from just outside the red zone, and Sesi Vailahi springs in to set up first down and goal with a gain of 15.
I'm just loving what this guard and center combination have been able to do. Like, they just watch the hole right here. So you get this block, and you get this block, and then you get right through there. I mean, this is just good football. Just good football. See, everybody's getting their block, and you get right through the, and Vailahi just going downhill in between the tackles.
First down and goal for Sam Jackson and the Cowboys. Vailahi tried to cut it back. He gets tripped up right back to the line of scrimmage. And so much to like from Kevin Johns. And again, he told us that it would look different here today. He said it's the same terminology. We're going to use the same plays. And he's staying in the same spot. He's calling the game, as you see, from down on the field, but he said it's a slower tempo, and that's in our team's best interest.
Yeah, he's a quarterback's coach too, so it's like he's been in the meeting room with 6 different quarterbacks this season. He understands what they like, what they need to hear.
Again, Jackson, the quarterback, motions out. Vailahi with a cut. Coleman wraps him up. Third down and goal coming from the 5.
I think this is 4-down territory, Mike. I think the first drive you got down there, you wanted to get points. That's a positive series, or it's the second drive of the game. But I think this is 4-down territory. And I think Kevin Johns is trying to look on that play sheet. What can I do here to get us a better situation, if not score a touchdown? But I think he's working with 2 plays down here.
Vailahi stays in. Still no Rodney Fields after he broke off the big one earlier. Cowboys 1 for 3 on third downs. Jackson to throw. Steps up in the pocket, and Jackson can be electric. Jackson, touchdown!
I just want you to watch the ability. So what? You get the receiver motion here, and he's just getting hit, but they both get knocked off. So the quarterback's just going to buy time and says, you know what? I got speed and got to go. Watch it. This is an outstanding job by Sam Jackson. See, both receivers gets knocked off. You're like, I don't have anything there. Puts the brakes on and just sprints to the end zone. This is the ability that he's shown, not just from the quarterback side of it, but man, he's an outstanding player with the football in his hands.
Well, to that point, Sam Jackson wants to play in the NFL as a wide receiver. They said at quarterback, you can still showcase your ability with the ball in your hands.
Yeah, he's showing his ability as a receiver, as a quarterback. I think he's going to be great on special teams, but right now, he's got his Cowboys coming back here in Stillwater.
There's the Taco Bell Live Más student section, and only one student section can claim the title of Live Más Student Section of the Year, who will take home the trophy this year. Let's say this, Oklahoma State is 1-5.
Yeah.
It's been almost 700 days since they won against the Big 12 team. This scene is unbelievable.
Man, it's energy. It's been energy all night. I love it here in Stillwater on a Saturday night.
Logan Wilson made a man miss and gets around the corner. There is a flag down. He tiptoes out just shy of the 40. There's a marker back at the 26-yard line. Seventh-year senior cornerback serves as the kick returner for Scott Satterfield.
Return holding number 18, return team. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down, Cincinnati.
Let's check in with Kevin Connors.
And Mike, our Dr. Pepper Fansville studio update. Hated rivals having added in Provo. This is Bear Bachmeyer to Chase Roberts.
Both teams pounding away on the ground. The difference so far, BYU's passing has been better.
A couple of teams right there near the top of the Big 12. Mike, 7-0 Cougars.
Kevin, Trevor, I know Trevor's interested in that one. Kirk, you saw BYU last week. What'd you think?
Yeah, you know what? I think this is a football team that's going to go as much as its quarterback takes them. Right now, Bear Bachmeyer, to me, one of the good young quarterbacks, but they're going to rely on the legs of Bear Bachmeyer, the way that he runs the football.
The holding call backs up Cincinnati to its 14. Sorsby off the play fake. Zips one right side, and he got it complete to Noah Jennings. Jennings passed the 30, 17-yard pickup to the steady junior who transferred in from Charleston Southern.
I just love the calmness that Sorsby has in the pocket. He's never rushed. Like, he never seems like he's sped up in his operation in that time, being able to scan the defense, and like you mentioned, find Jennings for a first down.
Tawi Walker on the ground. Yeah, how fun a story is it with Brendan Sorsby? I mean, we've enjoyed chatting with him these last couple of years. Senior year of high school, he only played in 6 games because of a broken hand. So after his senior year of high school, he was holding 9 FCS offers. It wasn't until very late in January that Indiana offered him after he had been done playing his high school football. Pressure on him, got it away, but it's incomplete. There is a flag down back in the pocket as Sorsby looked to check it down to his running back, Tawi Walker.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 81. Defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Yeah, I think this is going to be tough. I think it's on Diata, but it's more of a hand to the face of the quarterback. I didn't see much of a hit. I think of that first look I had was a left hand across the face mask of the quarterback, which we know that's always a foul. There wasn't much of a big hit. Watch at the end of the play, 81. That's just doesn't take much, but that left hand hit the face mask of Sorsby, and he knew it right away.
Fifth-year senior Virginia transfer who rotates in on the defensive line to Mike Diata. So good field position, and a handoff again to the physical Tawi Walker into the face of Trip White, redshirt junior linebacker, and a 3-yard pickup.
You know, it's also interesting talking to Sorsby is that we asked him, where do you get your toughness from? He said he got it from his parents because they didn't baby him.
Yeah.
Remember that? He's like, I don't want to be babied. I want to go out and earn it. And that's one of the reasons why he said he came to Cincinnati is he wanted to earn his keep. He wanted to earn the starting quarterback position. He earned it last season, but this year he's really taken it to a different level.
Quick one wasn't there. Now it's a check down. Evan Pryor, foot in the ground. How shifty is this guy? And Pryor's got a first down inside the 40. 11 more yards from Sorsby.
I just love Sorsby, man, in the pocket. I always call it the sprinkler system as he goes to his progressions. Just watch the quarterback. Watch his head. Watch how he goes through his progressions throughout this play. I'm going to go 1, it's not there. 2, it's not there. 3, wait, I'll go all the way around the dial. And that's the level of quarterbacking that Sorsby has taken to in his second year as starter for the Bearcats.
Fake it to Johnson. Sorsby, deep shot downfield and overcooked it for the speedy Caleb Goody, but there is a flag down near the line to gain, right around the 27.
Yeah, they may get a hold.
Prior to the pass, holding number 3, defense, 10-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic first down.
Yeah, they get Cam Smith on the opposite side of the field, so he's not even a part of the play, but it was initial holding on the side of where the play was going to end up happening at Smith, just a hold right at the line of scrimmage.
So 2 costly penalties on this drive for the Oklahoma State defense. The roughing the passer on Diata, and then the holding call on Cam Smith, the 5th-year senior corner. Sorsby the rollout. Directing, and he lasers one, and was that caught? No, they'll say Isaiah Johnson was out of bounds, so it's incomplete.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think that puts us out of bounds.
And we got a Week 7 Monday Night Football doubleheader. Bucks Lions at a special start time of 7 Eastern over on ESPN and ABC. Then Texans Seahawks on ESPN. Both available on ESPN Deportes and the ESPN app. And coverage kicks off at 3 Eastern with NFL Live at Ford Field, and then SVP and the Countdown crew.
Man, right through 6 weeks of the season, man, Baker Mayfield's my MVP.
Here's Joe Royer, who breaks the tackle. Joe Royer, touchdown. Cincinnati is explosive offensively.
It's all about tackling. You have to make tackles in the open field. And just watch Royer. All he does is turn around, sit, show hands, and then he makes one guy miss and land in Cleveland, and he races to the end zone for the touchdown. This is the first team all Big 12 tight end a year ago, and he's right back to his familiar settings of doing things bad to defenses.
Matt Miller's got Joe Royer as his number 5 tight end. Royer last year was given a draft grade of the 3rd or the 4th round. Wanted to come back to be the best tight end taken in the draft, and he breaks that tackle and another touchdown.
Yeah, he makes one guy miss, and it's off to the races. It's the Bearcats getting it done in Stillwater early on. Sorsby to Royer. You know, coming to this game, the Cincinnati offensive line, they've only given up 1 sack, and you can see throughout the early parts of this game why they've been so successful as a team. This offensive line has created time, they've created space in the run game, but they've allowed Sorsby to look at the defense, scan, and find the open guy. This offensive line has been fantastic all season long, and today they're still on point.
Time now for today's Game Track, brought to you by Coca-Cola, for this offense that is just piling up yardage. 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns. They've run 20 plays, and they've got 210 yards of total offense.
Well, they're efficient. They're an efficient offense. They know what they want to do, but more importantly, they have an identity. A lot of teams don't know their identity. They have an identity offensively.
So they have built this 11-point lead. We're midway through the second quarter. And Oklahoma State, I mean, you said it the last time they got down and faced a 3rd down, that it feels like you need touchdowns every time with how good this Bearcats offense is going.
That's what this game is going to be, because every time Cincinnati's got the ball, they're scoring touchdown. So how do you match it? This is a big drive right here for Oklahoma State. Big drive. You can't trade 3s with Cincinnati. You got to score 7s.
Again, this Cowboys team on a 5-game losing streak, and their only win this year was in Week 1 against UT Martin. Sam Jackson kept it, and he gets strung out by Logan Wilson. The read there for Jackson, maybe not the one he wanted. Let's check out today's Impact Players, brought to you by Pizza Hut.
Well, we've already seen Joe Royer. He's making Joe Royer making impact already offensively. But our guy, we haven't talked enough about Dante Corleone and Jake Golday. 2 guys defensively that don't get talked about enough of why this team, I think, can be a conference championship contender.
2 guys who are going to be very good draft picks as well, much like what we just said about Joe Royer in the NFL. A loss of 5. Fields on the give from Jackson this time. He picks up about 4. 3rd down and long coming up.
And this is where you want to be. And this is Jake Golday time, too. You know, for me, this is a guy right here on 3rd down that when you watch him on 3rd down, this is where I think Jake Golday, being a draft pick in rounds 2 and 3, and I think he can elevate his status as this season goes along. Because right here on 3rd down, it's really about where's Waldo? Can you find number 11? He's going to line up on the line of scrimmage. He's going to line up at linebacker. This time, lining up like he's going to rush the passer. That shows you some of the versatility right here from Golday.
Yeah, 11 in the white. Former defensive end, of course, at Central Arkansas. Pressure comes on 3rd down. Jackson on the roll. Jackson, deep ball downfield, and he dropped it in to Shamar Rigby for a 48-yard pickup.
Just buying time, and you're just waiting. And Rigby just got behind the defense. There's just nobody there. Everybody's keeping their eyes in front, and he just got behind the defense, and what a throw from Sam Jackson. Outstanding throw, but he bought time and actually showed off some of that brilliant arm down the field.
To the Purdue transfer, and a beauty from Sam Jackson. Again, a guy who 2 weeks ago was playing wide receiver and returning kicks for the Cowboys. Here's a flip. Rodney Fields, the running back, takes it inside the 20. Wrangled down by Antoine Peak, but there is a penalty marker down right around the line of scrimmage.
Holding, number 82, offense, 10-yard penalty, still 1st down.
It's the 6th-year senior tight end, Quentin Stewart.
Yeah, he's the end man on the line of scrimmage. They got 82. The big blocker, and I don't know if you know if he needed to do that. Here's 82 right here. Just going to get here. And it's just a block. I don't even think that was needed. Right? He's just got to stay in front. You could shield the guy, but when you get that arm wrapped around, that's where the flag came in.
Lamonte Whedon. So again, some costly penalties here now on both sides of the ball from Oklahoma State here in this 2nd quarter. It backs him up to the 36-yard line.
Still bleeding that play clock.
It's been the recipe throughout this 1st half for their offense. Jackson on the glance throws that one well behind Shamar Rigby. 2nd down and long.
Oh man, what a job there. I think it looked like Christian Harrison. I want you to watch Christian Harrison. He's the guy that kind of took Sam Jackson off of that glance route. It's an RPO, but Christian Harrison was able to jump in front and just distract Sam Jackson from trying to get that ball in. He had to hold it for one more beat.
Harrison, who does a really good job at coverage for them as their field safety, Tennessee transfer, and yes, the son of Rodney Harrison.
I'm thinking big screen out here. You remember we got the big tight end out there? Right, we talked about a little bit earlier, Stewart. Big screen touchdown.
Run it opposite with Fields. And Fields with a stiff arm around the corner on Danny James. Jawing afterward with 3rd down coming up after a dozen.
Yeah, you put formation in the boundary. Everybody's on that side. You're outflanked. And so you've got more numbers to the field with Rodney Fields. So nice job there by getting all of the guys out of sync just a little bit to give Fields an open field.
All right, 3rd down and 6. Where are you going with the football?
Oh, man, I'm looking at Fields, but Freeman also, number 17. He's always been the guy. He's right in here.
Davis in motion. Jackson with time. Jackson fires sideline for Freeman, who made the catch. And now where do they spot him? Freeman coming back to the football. He's short by about a yard, and it's 4th down.
Completed pass short of the line to gain. It's 4th down.
Nice job working back to the football. I think he is short. And is this a catch? Yeah, I believe my first look from that angle looks to be a catch, but probably just about a yard short. And I think that'll hold up. That'll be a catch. But another 4th down opportunity here.
And the play clock was winding down on Doug Meacham, and they were trying to get extra offensive linemen into the game as well. Good catch by Freeman, and now a huge 4th down for the Pokes. Back in Stillwater, 4th down and 1 for Sam Jackson and the Cowboys. And for the Cincinnati defense, this is the 22nd time an opponent has gone for a 4th down.
Yeah, because offenses realize, hey, we may not get the ball back the way that their offense scores. So offenses are going for it on 4th down against this Bearcat defense.
Cowboys 4 for 5 on 4th and 1 this year. And Fields has a 1st down. Despite a collision with his own wide receiver, he moves the sticks.
Yeah, he's running like he's 230 pounds. He only goes about 5'9", 195, but watch this physical run between the tackles. This is what Rodney Fields has been showing all game long. He's just getting downhill right in the teeth of that defense.
I mean, he takes drive-by friendly fire there and still pushes forward. He's almost got 100 yards here on the ground in this first half, and that was massive because of what you said, the way Cincinnati's offense has operated all season.
Well, I think that's what if you're Kevin Johns, the offensive coordinator, you're working with 4 plays, all right? I mean, 4 downs every series of downs you get.
Fresh set of downs from the 15 for Sam Jackson. Jackson steps away from Jalen Hunt. Jackson with the stutter step, tried to throw it away at the last moment, and if he got rid of it before he was out of bounds, yeah, it's a throwaway to save that yardage.
Yeah, that's a nice job, and that's a veteran quarterback realizing if I get the ball out of bounds, it goes back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead of taking that sack or losing, 4 or 5 yards, he throws that ball away and gets it right back, so no gain.
After the spring, Oklahoma State had a couple transfers out at quarterback. Then Haas Haney got hurt with a broken foot in the opener. Zane Flores is still out with a shoulder injury. Doug Meacham told us no chance you would see Flores tonight. On 2nd down, it's Fields probing and churning the legs. So 3rd down and medium coming up for this Cowboys offense.
Yeah, this is a huge 3rd down here because, look, you still have 4th down to work with, Mike, but remember, Cincinnati gets the ball to start the 2nd half. So how much clock can you bleed here in this situation? I'm telling my guys offensively, I don't want Cincinnati to get the ball back. If we can try to hold on to this ball, bleed a couple more plays down, I like the way that this drive is going. But remember, this is not just 3rd down. You've got a 4th down after this if you don't get it. So handing the ball off will be a situation I think this offense will do.
Cincinnati shows pressure. They do run it. It's Fields already up and over 100 yards rushing. He takes it to about the 6. It's very close and appears to be just short. So 4th down coming up.
Yeah, again, they're going to go for it on 4th down. So again, every series of downs, they've got 4 downs to work with. And what we've seen has been the handoff or direct snap to Rodney Fields. I go right back to it to number 20.
Fields, though, comes out of the game. Sesi Vailahi checks in, and so does an extra offensive lineman. You saw 79 on the left side of your screen, Gage Stanlin. Vailahi at 206 pounds. It is direct snap. It's Vailahi off the left side. Peak wraps him up. And where's the spot? Looks to be short, and if so, it's a turnover on downs. What a stop by Peak, and it is.
Watch Peak, he will come from the left side of the screen, and he just finds a way to sneak through there. He's kind of hanging around the line of scrimmage, and he just finds an open gap, and watch the tackle. Watch the tackle. This is how you wrap. Just hold on for dear life, and a nice job of cleaning up by Golday 11. That's great team defense and team tackling.
Man, I know Rodney Fields has had a lot of work in this first half, but shouldn't you be keeping him in there on 4th down?
Yeah, you would love to keep your back in there. And I initially thought that he was going to be in the game. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Put number 20 in the game, but being out on that last one, look, you love the play call there, but I think the success rate would have been a lot better having Rodney Fields in the game.
And so Cincinnati starts at its own 6. They're up by 11, and remember, they get the football, as you said, to begin the 2nd half as well. Evan Pryor goes straight ahead. He picks up a couple of yards as we tick toward the 2-minute timeout.
Yeah, a lot of space, a lot of field, and I want to see how do they work this final 2 minutes left now. I think this clock start to dwindle. I think they'll take this to the 2-minute.
Cincinnati's offense has been dynamite again. 3 drives of 70-plus yards. But Scott Satterfield says his defense is bend, don't break. They did so there inside the red zone with Antoine Peak coming up with the stop on 4th down.
Kevin Connors in studio. Coming up on the Twisted Tea halftime report, how Diego Pavia and Vanderbilt knocked off another SEC giant, the incredible turn of events in Athens today, and Trevor Maddich on who is the class of the Big 12. Mike, coming up at the half.
Kevin, Brendan Sorsby wants to be right in that discussion. His Cincinnati team is 5-1 this year. They're up by 11. 2 to go until halftime, and on 2nd down, Sorsby, deep ball, overcooked it for Cyrus Allen with double coverage. So the clock stops. 3rd down and 8. This is a pivotal sequence for the Oklahoma State defense.
Yeah, it really is. You want to make it stop. Get this ball back. You're starting to do some things offensively that you feel confident to get the ball back one more time to get some points. So defensively, can you find another stop right here?
Saw Clint Bowen wants to get a timeout. He messages that to his good friend Doug Meacham. Looked like a personnel issue there for Oklahoma State, and so they've got to burn one here ahead of halftime.
30 seconds in length.
Let's take a look at the college football headlines presented by Harbor Freight. And Trevor Maddich is asking, who is the best team in the Big 12? Well, Texas Tech, 7th in the country. They go down against Arizona State, who gets its first top 10 win since 2019. And then going on right now, Utah and BYU, not just a really good uniform matchup.
Man, it's not. It's 2 teams that, look, you got to like this where this matchup is at right now. Both teams realize that you win, you got an upper hand in the Big 12. You lose, and the odds are not in your favor.
For Scott Satterfield, entering this game tonight, 25% chance to reach the Big 12 championship game. It's a team that doesn't play Texas Tech. They do play BYU, but they get them at Nippert Stadium later on this season. Our big 3rd down and 8 here with 1:53 to go.
Yeah, Joe Royer, that's the name, right? Number 11. Find him as well. He's right here in the slot. That's been the quarterback's best friend.
3 for 56 for him. Sorsby looks that way. Dumps it off. Pryor out of the backfield, and he gets dropped shy of the 20 by Kenneth Harris, and it is enough for a 1st down.
It was that last little lunge. That's great recognition there by Evan Pryor. He knew where the 1st down marker was and just put the ball over the mark.
All 3 timeouts for Cincinnati. Still plenty of time. Sorsby in rhythm with a long throw toward the sideline. And inbounds, Jeff Caldwell is wrapped up. His first catch, the transfer from FCS Lindenwood.
So you would say they were in like a 2-minute drill, but this is like their normal offense. So they run their normal offense at this type of speed, this type of tempo. That's why they seem so calm with 1 minute and 15 on the clock.
Sorsby in rhythm again. It's Caldwell to the outside, but he's inbounds. Could not get out of bounds. Wrapped up by Cam Smith after 9.
Yeah, they're fine with that. Clock stops to reset the chains, and they're right back on the line of scrimmage. They've even had a substitution in there as well. This is their normal offense. And at some point, I figure they take a shot down the field.
Bring in Gavin Grover at tight end. Pressure on Sorsby. Here is Grover, who gets sideswiped by Parker Robertson. Grover's 3rd catch of the season gets 7. And we get a stoppage and a timeout taken. First one by Cincinnati with 55 seconds to go.
30 seconds in length.
Well, great games going on tonight around the country. Notre Dame, USC, Tennessee, Alabama as well. If you're just joining this one, flipped over at halftime of those, welcome. Kirk Morrison, Mike Monaco with you. A Cincinnati team that is rolling along this year. They're 5-1. They're ranked 24th in the country. First time being ranked in 3 years. What's impressed you the most about them?
Well, their efficiency on the offensive side, the way they ran the football, but also throwing the football. Brendan Sorsby, look, I think he wants to enter his name into the conversation of the Heisman Trophy. And I know it's way too early. It's way too early. I know we're halfway through the season. But I watched Diego Pavia earlier, and I'm saying if Sorsby continues this little hot streak that he's on right now, look, only one interception on the year, but the way he disperses the football, man, he could have his name in that conversation as well come into the season.
I mean, you're not kidding. It's 14 passing touchdowns. It's 5 rushing touchdowns, and it's just 1 turnover from Brendan Sorsby, operating an offense that is second in the country in yards per play. He's got 55 seconds, 2 timeouts, and the ball's at the 41 of the Bearcats. Sorsby, sidestep trouble. Check down toward Grover and incomplete. Grover getting snaps here, not Joe Royer. And now it's 3rd down and 3.
Yeah, Royer came out of the game. He seemed to be a little bit banged up earlier, but so Grover's kind of taking over that tight end spot. But here's a 3rd down here. Look, the offensive line has done a terrific job of protecting. We've shown that throughout. But can Oklahoma State defensively, can they get a stop here? Can they bring some pressure? And I think if I'm Clint Bowen, that's what I'm doing. I want to bring some pressure. Try to see if I can get to this quarterback or at least speed him up.
Only brings 3. Sorsby, quick one, got it complete to Caleb Goody. Enough for a 1st down with Mordecai McDaniel in on the stop.
Yeah, I think just rushing 3 plays into the hands of the quarterback. If you're going to rush 3, it just gives Sorsby all kind of time to scan the defense for the right player to throw the football.
Clock rolling inside of 40 seconds. Still the 2 timeouts for the Bearcats. They bring 5 this time. Sorsby downfield and a beautiful ball, and that is hauled in by Noah Jennings. What a throw from Brendan Sorsby.
Look, Jennings only gets about 3 or 4 targets a game, but they're big plays. I love the way that Sorsby layered this football. When I say layered, he just put that ball out there, and Jennings ran right underneath it. I think he's got full control. Does he have full control, Mike? Does he have full control with the foot in bounds? Does he complete the process? I sure believe he does. I think that's a catch. That's going to stand up. Nice job by Jennings.
Beautiful pitch and catch. Sorsby to Noah Jennings. Play clock winding down. Sorsby got it away. Takes a shot toward the end zone and not on the same page with the intended target, Isaiah Johnson.
Yeah, that time he had to just get rid of it. I saw a free rusher that was coming right now on the blitz. It looked like it was Cleveland playing that star position, but he had to throw it up. But look, still with 2 timeouts, they're in no rush. I know it's 24 seconds left, but they're thinking 7, not 3.
From just outside the red zone. Sorsby takes off, and Sorsby ducks down just outside the 10. Landed Cleveland in on that stop. And we'll get a timeout taken here by Scott Satterfield with 1 left ahead of 3rd down.
It seems like always one of the things I always forget, right? I'm watching it all week on film, and once Cincinnati gets near this red zone, Sorsby takes off, right? He's always a guy that at the end, you get down by the red zone, and he's becomes a runner. He's activated as a runner.
And that's his first carry of the game. It's such a part of what he can do and why this offense has been successful. And then it comes up in that moment with all the other weapons that this offense had been operating at its typical elite level anyway.
You know, I'm looking around. I'm looking to see who's out there on the field. It's Jennings and Allen. And, oh, okay, Joe Royer's back on the field, number 11. And then you realize, oh, yeah, you've got a quarterback that can take off and run. It's that athleticism that we don't see because he's always in the pocket, making throws and plays from the pocket. Then all of a sudden he takes off and runs. It's like they get to the 20-yard line and there's a light bulb that goes off, like red zone run, red zone run.
So Scott Satterfield's got to manage this now. 3rd down and 1, down to 1 timeout remaining. Sorsby started under center, and now he'll move back into the pistol. Joe Royer back onto the field, top of your screen. Pressure comes. Cyrus Allen out of the backfield with his 3rd touchdown. This offense has been unstoppable for Cincinnati.
I mean, just easy throws. Here comes Allen right in motion, and nobody goes with the motion guy. He gets picked off by his own player, and it's just an easy throw for the quarterback. I don't think there was anything difficult about that. He just put it out there. Allen shows off his speed. Yeah, he throws it up. 1, three. That's 3 touchdowns in the first half for Cyrus Allen.
Plenty involved this week for Cyrus Allen. He showed Oklahoma State's fan base how many, and Brendan Sorsby counted them out as well after another connection with Cyrus Allen.
Are they best friends again now? Are they best friends again now? Is it last week you were neglected? You only had 1 catch a week ago, but it's just been the Cyrus Allen show in the first half. Getting him the football in the first drive. And then here comes the play I didn't really think they had. Speed option to the short side of the field. And this is just a quick throw. I think Coach said it best. Cyrus Allen is a dual threat. A guy that you can get the ball to down the field or a guy you can get to in the backfield. He's showing off all of that in the first half.
His 3rd game this year with multiple touchdowns. A guy who in week 5 in that road win against Kansas had 11 grabs for 128, 2 touchdowns. But again, to your point, last 2 weeks hadn't really been involved that much. Only 4 receptions back in a major way here in the first half in Stillwater.
Oh, you're going to get involved today. That's what his quarterback said. Don't worry, you're going to get involved. And that's what we've seen so far in the first half.
So the lead is 18 for Cincinnati headed toward halftime. Hey, kick off your Week 7 NFL Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern with the Countdown Crew on ESPN and the new and improved ESPN app. They'll have all the early breaking stories, injury updates, and previews of each game right up to kickoff.
Yeah, make sure you set your fantasy rosters too.
How's your fantasy team doing?
The all gas, no breaks fantasy team right now currently is 5-1.
Oh.
Yeah, 5-1. So
humble brag.
It's a humble brag, but special thanks to Jordan Love, quarterback of the Green Bay Packers, for leading the way.
Quarterback of the Oklahoma State Cowboys, Sam Jackson, with a give to Rodney Fields, who gets bear hugged and wrapped up after 4, and that will send us to halftime. Signs of life from Oklahoma State, but too much Cincinnati. 4 touchdowns on the board for the Bearcats, and offense looking absolutely elite with a touchdown on every drive, all at least 70 yards and 94 yards on their final drive of the half, and they would get the football as well to begin the second half. Let's go down to Don.
Well, Coach, certainly an efficient offensive performance that have 3 touchdowns for Cyrus. What's been the key to them clicking?
Well, I think Sorsby's seeing it good right now. They're bringing some pressure. He's doing a good job of getting rid of the football. Very efficient offensively. Obviously, we just got to get more possessions.
On the other side of the ball, obviously, they're showing some different things they haven't showed on film. How would you assess your defense's ability to handle it?
Yeah, just giving up a couple of the big plays is disappointing. We're a defense that's going to bend but don't break. We did a good job on the 4th down to get the ball back to the offense. Thought that was huge right before half to go get some points on the board. We got to do a better job on defense in the second half.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thanks.
305 yards, 9.5 yards per play. Pretty good from Scott Satterfield's offense. The Twisted Tea halftime report. Kevin and Trevor. Welcome back to ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Geico. You're watching the Big 12 on ESPN. We welcome you back to Stillwater, Oklahoma, where number 24 Cincinnati has been rolling here at Boone Pickens Stadium. They're up by 18 on the Cowboys as we welcome you back. Mike Monaco, Kirk Morrison with you. And is there anything the Oklahoma State defense can do to slow down Cincinnati?
Well, I would think maybe try to bring a little bit more pressure. They've got to speed up Brendan Sorsby at some point. Right now, only sending 3 is allowing him too much time in the pocket.
Logan Wilson runs it out for the Bearcats. He's got a lane off the right side, hurdles down past the 30. Brendan Sorsby in the first half was?
Fantastic. If you want to just use that, just watch how calm he is in the pocket. This offensive line did a great job, but the way that he's able to go through his progressions and find the open wide receiver, you get near the red zone, he takes matters into his own hands and takes off and runs. And to me, it's all about finding the mismatch, finding where the open guy is. People think that it's easy, but Sorsby, he has a knack for scanning the defense and finding the mismatch every single play.
Sorsby at the controls, and he rolls and connects with his tight end, Joe Royer, who gets undercut immediately by Parker Robertson. Don.
Yeah, Oklahoma State's Doug Meacham said in order to slow them down, they've got to wrap up when it comes to tackling. And on top of that, they've got to be more physical out there on the perimeter. Talking about some of those wide receivers, those throws that Brendan Sorsby has made. He said, we get physical out there, we help reroute those receivers. Now, for the past few weeks, guys, the Cincinnati offense has stalled in the second half. It's been a point of emphasis for them to keep the hammer down.
Well, you said tackling. How about Parker Robertson showing up a couple of times?
Yeah, a couple of nice little plays in the open field, and you mentioned it right there, Don. That's 2 plays that go for minimal and negative yards, and now they're already in the 3rd and long offensively, Cincinnati.
Who has converted on all 4 of its 3rd down so far. Bearcats scored on all 4 possessions in the first half. Sorsby moves away from Gregory with a pump fake on Brown. Got around the corner, shoved out of bounds by Malik Charles, close to the sticks, and he does not have enough.
Oh, man, nice hustle there by Malik Charles. I thought he was going to go get the first down, Mike, but the hustle by Charles to knock him out just a couple yards shy of the first down. That's a nice job. Nice legal hit there by Malik Charles, the redshirt junior from Tempe.
So 4th down and 6. Charles, the transfer from Division II West Georgia, bumped him out. And yes, Cincinnati has a punter on the roster. That is Max Fletcher. He's an excellent one at that. He comes out to get it away to Gavin Freeman. Fair catch signal from Freeman just outside the 20. And that's going to go against Christian Harrison for kick-catch interference. It's the 1-yard space in front of the return man. If you enter, it's kick-catch interference, and Harrison certainly did with some contact as well on Freeman.
Yeah, that's always the one where you're just trying to locate the football. And
Kick-catch interference,
too far
number 5. Kicking team, 15 yards from the spot of the foul. First down, Oklahoma State.
Just a little too fast right in front. He's like, oh, no. Oh, man. I was never that fast to get down there, Mike, so I was always the guy behind Harrison. So if the ball landed on the ground, I was going to try to jump on the fumble or the muff punt. But Harrison a little too fast on that one.
And so because of that, it's good field position for Oklahoma State. So they get a stop, and now they have their best starting field position of this entire game. Again, new play caller, the quarterback's coach, Kevin Johns, calling the plays for the first time this year. And a 2nd start in a row for Sam Jackson, who was playing wide receiver a couple of weeks ago. Rodney Fields runs right at Christian Harrison. Fields up and over 110 yards rushing.
Yeah, Fields has been running in between the tackles. He's ran to the outside. And again, he only goes 195, but he runs with so much power for his size.
Sam Jackson with quarterback run off the left side, and he's a yard shy. We didn't see much quarterback run from Sam Jackson.
And I think we may see some of that in the second half, because I think that he's a weapon in this offense, right? We saw him scramble for a touchdown. Maybe go back to that, but he's kind of wincing a little bit after that last run there. He's kind of a little bit hobbled. He's telling the sideline, no, I don't want to come out of the game, but he's definitely a little banged up after that last play.
Remember, he's their 3rd different starting quarterback this year. Oklahoma State, one of 8 teams in the country who have had 3 different starting QBs. Big 3rd down and 1, so they give it to Fields, and Rodney Fields has enough for a first down. Pretty good recipe.
And this dude's tough, man. He is tough. I mean, I think that first play of the series, he got hit in the ribs, and he's looking to the sideline telling people, no. And now look at these quarterbacks.
I mean, this is since 2022.
Yeah.
All the different starting quarterbacks that Oklahoma State has had. Haas Haney was a big-ticket transfer who was paid well to come here. He suffered a broken foot in the season opener, and then Zane Flores is out with a shoulder injury.
So if people ask, what's been the problem with Oklahoma State, you would say quarterbacks and injuries. That's been the big thing of why this program is kind of where it's at the moment.
Jackson felt the pressure, and how about this from Quentin Stewart? 6 years in college. That is the 2nd time he's touched the football. He rumbles for 30.
Well, we talked all week in our film session, Mike, if you would have seen it. Look, this is one of those plays where he has not touched the football at all throughout the season, but guess what? You find ways to get guys involved, and this time Stewart just running an end on the inside, and he's fouled by his quarterback. And then nobody wants to tackle. Where's the tackling at on that one? You got to tackle the big man, but I don't know anybody wants to tackle Big Stewart, 6'3", 250 pounds.
The lack of action has not inhibited the way to do a celebration for Quentin Stewart. Fields up the middle, hopping toward the end zone, touchdown! Rodney Fields is a man possessed.
It's just the offensive line. They've been doing a great job. 75, 76, 74. Just give them all a nice little helmet decal, because this is one of those runs where everybody's got a hat on a hat, and Fields, he just knows where the end zone is. Outstanding run for the touchdown.
He's got a career high 141 rushing yards. We started this second half asking, is there anything Oklahoma State defensively can do to get a stop? They did get one, and then they march down the field. Fields pays it off, and the deficit down to 11.
Back here in Stillwater, that last touchdown by Rodney Fields, I just want you to see the blocking. Watch our guy, Jacoby Sanders, get here, and he's going searching, looking for work. Bob Schick comes around. He goes right up the field, and watch the blocking. And Fields, just, you don't need much for the running back. See how he blocks, gets up, and finds the end zone. He had 76 Schick and number 75 Sanders, both leading the way.
And whoever gets the job here, priority number one is what? Keep Rodney Fields in Stillwater. I mean, seriously. Redshirt freshman who is an Oklahoma native. He's from Wright City. Fair catch signal for Logan Wilson. Hey, for 20 years, Allstate has celebrated every field goal and extra point made at participating universities by donating to the university's athletic scholarship fund, supporting all student athletes. Thank you to Allstate.
Number 46, kicking team. 5-yard penalty will be added to the end of the play. First down.
So tack on 5. And before the Fields play, how about Quentin Stewart, man? 6th-year senior. He's from Kansas. He's the last man standing from his original recruiting class. And again, 6 years. His only other time touching the football was a touchdown in Bedlam 3 years ago.
So all week long, I'm watching film, and I'm like, why is 82 lined up at wide receiver or extended or flexed out? They're not going to throw him the ball. Well, guess what? They said, you know what? This offense is different. Under Kevin Johns, they got him in football finally.
Evan Pryor with a good gain up the middle to start this drive to the 36.
I think just when you thought that this game was kind of leaning more towards Cincinnati, they score right before the half. They're up 28-10, and you're like, okay, you feel comfortable. Now all of a sudden Oklahoma State scores, and you feel like the momentum is starting to shift, and we've got a game here.
Pryor slipped a tackle from Mordecai McDaniel. That is very close to the line to gain. Looks like it's just short. So 3rd down and 1 coming up for the Bearcats.
Big 3rd down here. And I'm selling all out. I'm going all out. Pressure, trying to plug some gaps. No Tyree Walker in it. Running back, Evan Pryor, more of the down. The scat back, get outside the tackles. Can they get a tough yard right here? Oklahoma State stop. Here comes the pressure.
2 tight ends. A run for Pryor, and he is stood up in the hole by Brandon Rawls. The 5th-year senior linebacker with a run fit, and it's 4th down.
You want to see how to scrape? You hear the word scrape as a linebacker. That means you just follow, and you extend. Watch number 6 in the middle of your screen. He scrapes, and then flashes, boom. And a full wrap of a tackle. That's a nice job, but on the field, 4th down, Cincinnati.
From their own 39. Oklahoma State didn't bite on the hard count from Sorsby. Pryor motions out. Sorsby comes under center. Sorsby with a sneak. About to spin in a 1st down.
That extra effort on that spin. It was the extra effort on that spin. He also could have been a face mask on number 4, Wendell Murphy, but it's that extra little spin that got the 1st down. Could have had a face mask right there on Gregory.
It should have been. 15 more on Wendell Gregory. Sorsby was calling for it, you saw. And in the meantime, he moves the chains. Play fake. Sorsby to the sideline and dropped. Jeff Caldwell could not haul it in with Eric Fletcher in coverage.
Let's go back to that last play, that fourth down. I'm still surprised at this moment in the game, you're going for it on your side of the 50-yard line, going for it on fourth down. That's Scott Satterfield feeling what I was talking about, that momentum. Like Oklahoma State, this fan base, they've shown up. It's homecoming, and you can feel the energy in this place, and that's a gutsy decision in this third quarter to go for it on your side of the 50 on fourth down.
Well, Scott Satterfield said it to Dom before halftime. Their offensive drives are at a premium as well. Sorsby on the option, and he slips. Parker Robertson was closing as well. It's just 2 yards, and now it's third down and 8.
And I think this is the feeling of scoring quickly, and then also that 3 and out to start the opening drive of the half. You know, you feel like we need more plays. We need more plays. That time, Parker Robertson doing a nice job of feathering the quarterback, willing to go run the alley if they would have pitched it. But this is another third and long here. Defensively, do they bring pressure or only bring 3?
Bring 4. Sorsby stands in. Sorsby directing, fires, and it's dropped by Caleb Goody. Now there's a late flag that comes in as well.
It's a late flag. I'm still trying to locate it. It's on the near side. I want to see, do they get number 30? Late in the
Sideline
down.
warning, Oklahoma State bench. This is their first warning. It's fourth down.
So crisis averted for Doug Meacham, the interim head coach, in his 4th game on the job for Mike Gundy.
Well, it's a big stop, and I think everybody's excited. You know, these are tight quarters here at Boone-Pickens Stadium. And that sideline, feeling that momentum, that's another third down that they've been able to get off the field here in the second half.
2 big drops in that series. Caldwell and then Goody. Max Fletcher comes out, the 6'6" redshirt junior from Australia. Gavin Freeman is dropped immediately right around the 15-yard line by the long snapper Eli Stein.
On return, sorry.
You know, that's what gave him the.
Take a look at this week's college football rankings, brought to you by Capital One. Ohio State convincing. Friday, Louisville with a big win against Miami.
Yeah, so Miami with a big loss on Friday night. Ole Miss with the loss over at Georgia. And Texas Tech, yeah, we're going to see some movement. LSU loss. Yeah, this top 10 will not look the same come next week.
And here in Stillwater, you got number 24, Cincinnati, with a lead against Oklahoma State. But Oklahoma State's got the momentum out of halftime. A touchdown, a couple of stops, and now Sam Jackson, QB number 3, who's been a wide receiver as recently as 2 weeks ago at the controls. Sesi Valahi on the ground with a positive gain. QB1 coming into the year was Haas Haney, but he got hurt in week 1. Broke his foot in the opener. Now, it's interesting with him. Interim head coach Doug Meacham said was that Haney's probably going to be greenlit health-wise for the last 3 or 4 games. Haney wants to play. We've seen that, by the way, by how he's acted on the sidelines. But we're going to see what that decision is coming down the stretch.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting decision because, honestly, what do you play for? Is there a possibility of a medical red shirt also? It's just a lot for a quarterback with a lot of potential who they paid a lot to get here.
Here's a flip to Rodney Fields in space. Forward pass. He gets cracked down by Christian Harrison. And that's enough for a first down.
Well, Mike, you mentioned Haas Haney on the sideline all over the place. He's got to be careful. He might re-injure that foot. It is in a boot, but he's up and down the sideline, the biggest cheerleader, the first to run over to congratulate someone who scores, waving his towel in his head. He is all in and big support for his quarterback right now.
That's pretty cool to see. And you mentioned the medical red shirt. Of course, you can play up to 4 games and still have the ability to redshirt. He's only played in that one in the opener. Fresh set of downs from about the 25. Sam Jackson is flushed and he throws a little too tall for Terrell Davis. Second down.
I think the more and more you just kind of look now at Oklahoma State, you're trying to find plays that continue to work. Obviously, going to Rodney Fields has been your #1 option, but someone else has to step up and make a play. Outside of the quarterback and Rodney Fields, who can be the next man up? We saw earlier Quentin Stewart make a play, but you need somebody else in this wide receiving group. Gavin Freeman, we saw him early on. Can he come alive here in the second half?
Freeman 3 grabs. Fields with 2. Nobody else with multiple receptions. Freeman on the end around, made a cut, maintained his footing. Golday swiping at the ball, and Freeman's got it just short of a first down. A lot to unpack there for Gavin Freeman.
Well, it's a lot to unpack, but this is what, if I'm Freeman, I'm going over to my offensive coordinator, Kevin Johns, and say, hey, hand me the ball. Give me the ball. I'll show you how it's done.
Now on third down, Sessi Vailahi with a head fake and a foot in the ground to get past Trayvon Gola-Collard to move the sticks.
And you saw this offense going quick. They've been kind of going slow throughout the game. That time, keeping the personnel grouping on the field also made Cincinnati defensively had to keep their smaller personnel grouping on the field.
That penalty's declined. Result of the play is a first down.
So they declined the penalty that was on the defense of Cincinnati. Kevin Johns keeps this offense in motion.
31 seconds. 5 minutes, 31 seconds.
Remember, you talked about time of possession for these teams as well. This is more of the same for what opponents of Cincinnati have done all season. Oklahoma State's had the football for about 6 more minutes than the Bearcats have. Jackson with all day. Jackson on the move. Darts out to the left side and shakes Whedon. Sam Jackson goes sliding down with a first down and 12.
You know, I remember I had a defensive coordinator in the NFL once told me, you see, there's some players who you just look at them in space and it's almost like you're going against a punt returner. Now just picture Sam Jackson right now as a punt returner, right? Just take the quarterback label off of him. He looks like a punt returner back there, right? Just get him a couple blocks, and he's trying to find a wall. That's the kind of player that Sam Jackson is, I think, at the next level. He's playing quarterback because it's a need for him at Oklahoma State, but just get the ball in his hands, and he turns into a punt returner on that last play.
Shifty to midfield. Now Jackson stepped away from trouble and gets positive yardage to Sessi Vailahi. We asked Doug Meacham what was the conversation like with Sam Jackson in getting him to play quarterback. Doug Meacham said, I just told him, you're playing quarterback. Sam Jackson's response, okay, and that was it.
I mean, he's been almost at every college, it feels like, in America. TCU, Cal, Auburn. It's like, I just want to be on the field at one point. That's what he's doing now, just helping out his football team, but also showcasing his ability.
This is what he's improved on as well, giving what they call the codes to the offensive lineman. He sensed the blitz coming off his left side, and so he's directing here. Play clock winding down. Fields on the give. Straight ahead, and Fields picks up 3. Third down and short coming up. Well, if you're flipping around and just landed on this one, this is what it's been like since the end of last year for Oklahoma State. You might not remember Mike Gundy had that kind of standoff with the administration, took a pay cut, changes to nearly the entire coaching staff. The big loss to Oregon in week 2, the home loss to Tulsa, first time they've lost to Tulsa in Stillwater since 1951. So 3.5 weeks ago, the coaching change. A week later, a change at defensive coordinator, and now a few games in this new era. Jackson couldn't handle the snap, so that takes it back to 4th and long from 3rd and 1 on the delivery from Austin Kawecki.
And that's a punting situation now. You had a 3rd and 1 and an opportunity to keep the ball, keep the chains moving, but also keep Cincinnati on the sideline offensively. And in a bad snap, and you're forced to punt. That's critical error at a critical moment.
And that is a backbreaker for Doug Meacham. So Wes Paul comes out, sixth-year senior, who last year was honorable mention Big 12. Manny Covey back deep for Cincinnati. And he makes the fair catch at the 5. 11-point Cincinnati lead. They've got the football after this. The next stop on the F1 schedule is the U.S. Grand Prix at the Circuit of the Americas in Austin tomorrow afternoon, 3 Eastern on ABC, Deportes, and the app. And our pre-race coverage starts at 1:30 Eastern. That is section 231. Became world famous last weekend. It all started with a guy named Trent Eaton. He's not here today, even though he started this, because he's at the F1 race. This is on the ground to Tawi Walker to start it out for Cincinnati, leading by 11. Kirk Morrison late in the third.
Yeah, this drive has to be about points for Cincinnati. They have not gotten off to a great start in the second half, and that's kind of what's been their Achilles heel so far in the early part of the season. If they want to win a conference championship, they've got to find ways to kick it in gear in the second half.
Walker again off the left side, slipped to tackle to get a first down. Finally wrapped up by Mordecai McDaniel. It's a really good offensive line for Cincinnati, paving that way for Walker.
Yeah, well, if you give the ball to Walker, trust me, he's not going to run out of bounds. Look, he wants to find the contact. He's cutting back inside. He's been the downhill back they've looked for. The transfer from Wisconsin has given them a little two-headed monster at the running back look. And now in the second half, it seems to slow this offense down just a little bit with Tawi Walker in the game.
Brendan Sorsby to throw. This time hung on to. That is Elijah Jones, only his second catch of the year. The redshirt freshman who has started to play a little bit more the last couple of games picks up 6.
Yeah, but if you dress on this roster as an offensive player, Sorsby will find you. This part of one of his strengths is that it doesn't matter who's on the field, he finds the open guy.
From the 26, Sorsby in rhythm, looking down the sideline and can't connect with Jones. Third down coming up as LaDainian Fields had the coverage.
Another big third down here again, and now the pass rushers come on the field for Oklahoma State. Can they disrupt this passing attack? Well, we haven't called Joe Royer's name, the tight end, since that first half. See if they go to him here on this third down. There's Royer right here. He's at the top. He's the point man in the stack.
Cyrus Allen has 3 touchdowns, the man in motion. Sorsby through the progression. Fires, and it's hung on to by Noah Jennings. He gets wrangled down at the 39-yard line by Landon Cleveland after 13.
Oh, man, what a tough catch. What a tough catch. It was right there. It was a contested catch as well, but nice job using his hands as Noah Jennings. He's right there. Great focus for the first down.
And a huge 4th down catch in the win against Kansas this year. Sideline shot, and Goody cannot make the catch. Was running out of room as well on these narrow sidelines, and it brings up second down.
I think he's banged up after that play. I mentioned the narrow quarters here on the sideline, and I think he's being attended to. Hopefully he's able to return.
And helped out by Dante Corleone. And that is the super fast Caleb Goody, the transfer from Colorado State, who is second on this team in receptions.
And he's the downhill threat.
And he banged off the leg there of one of his defensive alignmen. Sorsby running out of time. Sacked by Deshaun Brown. Only the second sack all season given up by Cincinnati.
Yeah, man, what a tremendous job here, like you mentioned. Just getting around the edge, getting around the corner. That's just a terrific job of trying to find a way to get there. You don't get to Sorsby often, but when you do, you got to make sure it counts.
And how about Deshaun Brown to close out the third? The redshirt junior who'd been out since the opener with a knee injury was feared to be lost for the year. Instead, he steps up in a major way and will set up third down and long when we start the 4th. Cincinnati trying to stay perfect in the Big 12, up by 11 on the Cowboys.
AT&T is keeping fans connected with our multi-view. It's coming down to the wire in Lexington. Top left, Kentucky, a field goal attempt to try to tie it with Texas over on ESPN. And you can see they are knotted up at 13. Alabama's got a couple of touchdown passes from Ty Simpson, a 17-point lead on Tennessee. And Auburn looking to build on its lead over Missouri, Mike, a 14-10 lead on the SEC network.
Kev, thank you. And here at Stillwater, Cincinnati, one of 2 unbeatens in Big 12 play. Third down at 16. Brendan Sorsby, and it is caught by Caldwell. Up the ladder at 6'5". What a catch to move the sticks.
That's a big boy catch. That's 3rd and long, and you go to Jeff Caldwell, 6'5", 215. I mean, what a throw. It's a contested throw, but remember Sorsby this week said when you're throwing to him, it's not a 50-50 ball, it's a 90-10 ball going to Caldwell.
That's how we Walker on the ground after 38 to Jeff Caldwell, a guy who was originally a soccer player, sprouted up from 5'9" to 6'4" between his junior and senior years of high school.
That's a big dude and can run fast. We haven't called his name enough today, but that's a big play after 2 touchdowns he had a week ago.
Sorsby toward the end zone, toward Caldwell again, and broken up by Eric Fletcher, but a flag down. Fletcher physical with Caldwell.
Yeah, I think there's a restriction on the right arm of, I think Caldwell was trying to get to it.
Just number 13, defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So watch the right arm of Fletcher on the left hand of Caldwell. I think there's restriction there that he's not allowed to get both hands up to make that play. That's where the restriction came in. I know Fletcher doesn't like that call, but I think that's the right call in that scenario.
Backup corner transfer from East Carolina, who basically hadn't played at all until these last 3 games. And again, Scott Satterfield's offense has been one of the 6 best teams in the country. Perfect scoring in the red zone. The penalty sets up first down and goal. Royer in the backfield. Sorsby the keep. Royer the quick one toward the edge. And Royer is marked out of bounds at the 1.
Inside the 1-yard line. Second down.
Bumped out by Mordecai McDaniel, and we'll see if replay wants another look at this, but for now, spotted inside the 1.
Yeah, I want to see, does that ball cross the pylon? I think that he's going to be out at the 1. Didn't see that ball extend over that goal line. You know, that goal line extends out past that pylon right there, Mike. I don't know if that ball gets anywhere near there. I think he's out of bounds. It's a good call by the officials.
So second down and goal. Sorsby the keep. Broke away from Robertson, and Sorsby spins in. Touchdown. How about the effort from Brendan Sorsby?
This is all will and effort. Will and effort. I mean, this play's supposed to be hitting the backfield. He's supposed to be stopped by Washington, but no, by Robertson, he doesn't. He just keeps finding a way, spins, extends, and spins the football. Man, what a play by Brendan Sorsby. He's done everything. He's shown all the tools today. That last little run right there was just a nice little cap to what he's shown throughout this entire game.
He has thrown for 3 touchdowns and now run for 1 as well to cap a 95-yard drive for Brendan Sorsby and Cincinnati with an answer back. And the lead is 18 again on Oklahoma State.
We on a whole nother level. Bigger than ever we've been. See how hard it dropped. Yeah. Whoa. Yeah. Had to make it to the top. Just to see how hard it dropped.
Count them up, 5 touchdowns for this Cincinnati offense, one of the best in the country, and they lead by 18 on Oklahoma State, who's in its 4th game after the firing of Mike Gundy 3.5 weeks ago. And these are the coaches fired across the country since week 1, Kirk.
Yeah, James Franklin had a chance to talk today. First time we've heard from him But Trent Bray, Sam Pittman, Deshaun Foster at UCLA, and remember, this is a halfway point of the season. We may see this list continue to grow over the next couple of weeks. But when you start to look and you rate these jobs, you know, there's some, obviously I think the James Franklin Penn State job opening now is one that may be the most coveted of all of these.
Oklahoma State has the football early fourth quarter. Sam Jackson running out of time. Steps up in the pocket. Jackson throws on the run, and he got it to Gavin Freeman. And Freeman ducks down. Gave up yardage there, so he's 2 yards short. All right, so when you talk about the opening, how about with Oklahoma State? These are potential names to watch. This is not our reporting. Names, though, that are of interest to us. You could go current head coaches, maybe a coordinator who played here in Zach Robinson, who's with the Falcons. A lot of intrigue.
A lot of intrigue for someone who has to come in and be a program builder. I mean, because right now you got to build this program really almost from the studs, because this is a program right now with guys already entering the transfer portal in this window that's been open since the firing of Coach Gundy. So there's a lot that comes along with this one. It's just not just come in and let's run an offense and get back to where we were. You've got to build this program back up.
Done.
Yeah, I talked to AD Chad Weiberg about this, and he said, I'm a big believer in fit. Can't describe it. It's more of a feeling, but he wants a coach who has the vision of how to run a big organization, is aligned with him and the rest of the university. Asked if they were looking for a veteran head coach. He said, listen, hiring is a risk. Hiring a head coach with experience helps to minimize that risk, but then he also pointed out every legendary head coach started as an assistant somewhere. Now, as far as timing, that's tough, right, guys? With the transfer portal, he said he likes the fact that they have this longer runway. Letting go of Coach Gundy early allows them to cast a wide net, but his candidates coaching right now, so not going to have a hire until the end of the season. And, you know, something else I asked him about was the question swirling about how invested they are when it comes to NIL. He said the department might have started slow when it comes to NIL, but they are heavily invested top to bottom and aligned as a complete university.
Really good stuff there, Don. A couple of runs from Sam Jackson. It's where the slide starts, so he's a yard short. Third down coming up. You hear that. What sticks out to you about the next coach here?
Well, honestly, I'm going to look on the opposite side at Cincinnati, right? Think about where they were 3 years ago. You know, Luke Fickell takes the job in Wisconsin.
Fields for first down.
And then Cincinnati joins the Big 12. And the last two previous seasons, they didn't go to a bowl. This was a team in Cincinnati that went to the college football playoff as a group of 5 member. They get to the Big 12 and they didn't make the playoff. I mean, they didn't make a bowl game the last couple of years. It's taken 3 years for Cincinnati under Scott Satterfield to get to where they are currently right now. Will the people in Stillwater have that same kind of patience? This isn't just a one-year rebuild. I think this is going to take a couple of years to get this program where it was in the prime years of Mike Gundy.
Sam Jackson and the Cowboys are into plus territory. Against the 4-man rush. Jackson lofts one to a wide open Rodney Fields. Banging off bodies inside the 30. Well, the portal closes for this Oklahoma State roster next Thursday because you get 30 days. But these players have already either entered the portal or announced an intention to enter the portal as well. A Stillwater native at tight end, third on the list there, Josh Ford. And then you wonder what the other decisions will be moving forward.
Yeah, especially on the last guy who caught that pass, Rodney Fields. He has not put his name in the portal, and I don't want to say that, but there's a lot of folks watching this game right now all across the football landscape, right? And he has shown that he is a primetime player, only a redshirt freshman as well. So somebody that if Oklahoma State doesn't retain and goes in the portal, he's got years of eligibility in front of him.
Jackson spun away from Micah Coleman. That was nifty and quick from Sam Jackson for 3. Look, and credit to these players as well, because this has not been easy on them.
Correct.
Signed up for a certain head coach, a legendary one at that, who had so much success in his 21 years here. Doug Meacham, maybe you signed up to him to be your offensive coordinator. He's not calling the plays anymore, and you still got half the season left.
But they've played with tremendous fight. Like you mentioned, we came here, and this is a 1-5 football team. Not sure what we were going to get, and I'll tell you this, these guys are playing hard, they're playing physical. They are bought in to what Coach Meacham is preaching. And I'll tell you this, I've been in these situations before, Mike, and it's always about the why. What's your why? They're proving what their why is.
Sam Jackson slippery, but he slides down and loses yardage. So 3rd down and long coming up for Oklahoma State.
Well, the one thing I would say is Sam Jackson has to start sliding head first instead of feet first, right? When you attempt that slide, it's where the slide starts at. If he dives head first, and you get more yards, and he's had the opportunity to do that throughout this game.
Goes as a sack in the first one for Cincinnati here in this one. And a big 3rd down if Oklahoma State wants to hang around midway through this 4th quarter. Empty for Jackson. Screen, Vailahi. With his foot in the ground, and Vailahi tumbles down short of the sticks. Christian Harrison in on the stop. 4th down, and you got to go for it.
You have to. You have to. Nice block by Quentin Stewart as well, the big tight end. He got a block, and everybody knows this is 4th down territory.
For the first time today, Trent Howland checks in. 5th-year senior running back who's enormous. Doug Meacham says this guy's a load. 247 pounds, a one-time briefly linebacker at Indiana. Jackson on the roll. Davis the catch. 1st down and more. There is a flag down.
Yeah, they'll probably get illegal man downfield. I'm just trying to look back at that play, and when your quarterback is getting out of the pocket like that, you've got offensive linemen 3 or 4 yards down the field.
Ineligible player downfield, number 74. Offense, 5-yard penalty. Replay 4th down.
Right tackle Grant Seagren, the Nebraska transfer. Remember, it's 3 yards beyond the neutral zone.
Yeah, just watch here. He's trying to go make a block. And right there, he's already up the field a couple yards. And then the quarterback throws late. Ineligible downfield.
So instead of a 7-yard 4th down conversion, 4th down and 8. And you still got to go for this if you're Doug Meacham.
Yeah, these 3rd and 1 penalties and botched plays. This has been the story of this game for Oklahoma State. Missed opportunities.
Jackson takes a shot for Davis. Draws a flag. Danny James, the redshirt freshman corner, gobbled up Terrell Davis.
Pass interference, number 25. Defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
And that's an easy one. Doesn't locate the football, restricts the receiver from getting to the football. That's all signs that indicate that's defensive pass interference. That's an easy call right there by the officials. That's why you saw 2 flags fly, not just 1, it was 2.
So right now, a 3-score game. They've got 7 minutes to go. You have to come away with really 7 here if you're Oklahoma State. First down and goal for the Cowboys. Jackson the motion out. Rodney Fields on the direct snap, but it is blown dead, and we've got a flag on the far side of the field, and this is going against Oklahoma State.
Prior to snap, false start, number 85. Offense, 5-yard penalty, still 1st down.
Grayson Brousseau, the redshirt freshman Utah State transfer, coming here on the left side of your screen.
Yeah, he was trying to get a head start. Watch him try to get a head start because he's pulling. Well, see, he's ready to go right now. He's like, I'm in the game. I'm in for Stewart. Here I am. This is my time. This is my play. And he took off just a little early there.
And these penalties, these short yardage moments have been costly for Oklahoma State. Still trying to cash it in with 7 minutes to play with. Jackson takes off, and he gets wrapped up right near the line of scrimmage by Jalen Hunt, 6th-year senior defensive end, back this year from a knee injury. He's been their most consistent defensive lineman as we chatted with defensive coordinator Tyson Veit this week.
Yeah, he said he's going to make a couple plays when we talked to him before the game. So you going to make some plays today, big fella? He says, I'll make some plays. He's quiet about his business. He doesn't make the loud plays, but he makes the sure plays, and that's what he did on that last one.
Started his career at Michigan State. Jackson toward the end zone, intercepted by Matt McDoom. McDoom can flat out fly. Got away from Brousseau. Matt McDoom all the way. 100 yards.
You know, Mike, we saw this play earlier, but Christian Harrison, number 5, he jumps into the pathway of Sam Jackson trying to deliver that football. He has to hold it, double clutch it, and then McDoom steps in front. Sam Jackson had to hold it for 1/2 a beat longer because of Harrison, and McDoom steps in, and then it just turns into a track meet. And McDoom races into the end zone.
Tyson Veit been waiting for that. The first interception this season for Cincinnati. And the fastest player on the team, Matt McDoom, jumps the route and runs it back.
It's not only the first interception of the year, the first non-offensive touchdown of the year. The Bearcats feeling comfortable in Stillwater.
We wanted to join the Cincinnati community in extending our condolences. The Bearcat family lost former wide receiver and Cincinnati Hall of Famer Jim Kelly Jr. on Sunday. He played for the Bearcats in the 1970s and served as the radio color analyst for 35 years. We send our love and our comfort to the family and friends of Jim Kelly Jr. And decals tonight with the microphone and the number 7 all over Cincinnati and their helmets here in Stillwater. He would love the effort from his Bearcats tonight, up 42-17 after the longest interception return in school history, beating the previous long back in 1958, also against Oklahoma State. 6 minutes to go. Cincinnati rolling on the Cowboys.
Kevin and Trevor, your Capital One rewarding performance in overtime. Kentucky on 4th and goal. Trevor, Dante Dowdle stuffed.
And he was stuffed on 3rd down the play before this as well. This sets up Texas.
From 45 yards out, Mason Shipley splits the uprights. Anything but a masterpiece, Mike, but it is a Texas win.
I guess so, yeah. You move backwards in overtime offensively, and yet you get the win. Not pretty indeed, but Texas backs it up after the win against Oklahoma. Oklahoma State with the football, and Rodney Fields slips some more tackles. Gets past the 30. Our first NBA doubleheader is Wednesday night on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and the all-new ESPN app. Knicks, Cavs, 7 Eastern. Then it's out to Dallas for the highly anticipated regular season debut of Cooper Flagg. He and the Mavericks go up against the Spurs. NBA tip-off with Ernie, Kenny, Charles, and Shaq debuts on ESPN at 6 Eastern.
Can't wait. I can't wait for that.
How about that?
That's going to be fun. Cooper Flagg playing point guard, too? You ready for that, Mike?
I am not. This one gets past Jackson and Vailahi. Jackson goes diving for it, and he just appeared to rip it free from Kamari Burns. No, they're going to say Cincinnati football.
Cincinnati.
Logan Wilson ends up with it on another troublesome snap for Oklahoma State.
Yeah, this one is actually a bad snap. The earlier one I thought hit the hands of Sam Jackson. This one just went right through his legs and never had gained full possession. That ball's just laying on the ground, and finally recovered right there by Logan Wilson.
You wonder if replay might want to have a look at that. Jackson had his arm around it at one point. It gets tangled up in the leg. Wilson then rips it away for Cincinnati.
Yeah, but that, to me, I never saw full possession of that football. Like, he didn't have maintained full possession, and now we've got a new quarterback.
So, with Brendan Sorsby's day done, Brady Lichtenberg, veteran who has stayed around here at Cincinnati, gives to Manny Covey. Parker Robertson in on the stop as we approach 5 minutes to go. Fifth-year senior, one career start a couple of years ago. Originally redshirted behind Desmond Ritter. Only 14 snaps, including that one right there this season.
It's always good to be able to get some guys some needed reps in the game. You've done your job as starters, but to get Lichtenberg and some other guys some opportunities to get ready for the second half of this Big 12 championship stretch, they hope.
Covey is in for a touchdown. Manny Covey runs it in. And Cincinnati has blown this thing wide open in Stillwater.
Can't say enough about this offensive line. No matter if it's the first team or the second team, these guys have been outstanding today. Just getting hat on hat. And we've seen it from Tyree Walker, Evan Pryor, and now Manny Covey gets himself this time into the end zone.
Guy who flashed last year against Texas Tech hasn't really been involved this year, aside from the return game, gets the touchdown. Next Saturday, the SEC on ABC continues with 3 thrilling matchups. First at noon, Ole Miss at Oklahoma. Then it's Alabama at South Carolina. And it wraps up with Texas A&M at LSU. Brian Kelly's team today went down against Vanderbilt and Diego Pavia.
You almost feel like next week is an elimination game for LSU, right? I mean, 2 losses on the season. A third loss just keeps you out of the playoff. And A&M still surging, so already we're starting to inching closer to November, Mike. I've talked about October. We're inching closer to November, where now those losses are magnified.
So 4.5 to go here, and Cincinnati trying to get to 4-0 in the Big 12. Get bowl eligible. And it would already be the most wins in any season overall in the 3 years of Scott Satterfield. Fair catch signal for Oklahoma State. Another great day for Brendan Sorsby.
Yeah, it's just been Sorsby all day. We came in, we talked to him all week, and we're like, what kind of Sorsby will we get today? Well, he's shown everything. He's shown all the tools in the toolkit. He's shown the underneath throws. He's shown the option. He's shown his running ability inside of the red zone. And then just the ability to know where the end zone is. I mean, this run right here is one in all effort, all want to. And to me, look, he's a guy that's starting to surge in the middle half of this season, where you better start putting his name in some conversations for guys who may have an opportunity. We're talking about Heisman Trophy at the end.
I mean, how about this company? Since 2018, the quarterbacks who have gone 6 straight games with 2+ passing touchdowns and no interceptions. So taking care of the football and then putting points on the board. I mean, he's in great company.
You talk about some NFL quarterbacks right there. Tua, Justin Fields, Trevor Lawrence, and Devin Leary. He was outstanding when he was at NC State. That's a quarterback that's just kind of coming to his own now, the redshirt junior.
Meantime, a new quarterback here for Oklahoma State in Noah Walters with a give to Caleb Hicks. Third down coming up. Noah Walters is quite a story. He's turned himself into the backup quarterback here now. Former starter at the FCS level. As recently as a few weeks ago, he was a student at UCF. Wasn't even playing Division I FBS football. Wasn't on the roster here until a few weeks into the season. Doug Meacham said to us he had signed up for flag football intramurals at UCF, and you don't entirely know if Doug Meacham was kidding.
And I think a lot of people wanted to see him play too as well. Just the story that you mentioned, Mike, is a guy that, look, it's what college football is all about. Just when you get an opportunity, what do you do with it?
Hicks on the ground, and not enough. Fourth down coming up.
Mike, Kevin Johns told us he learned the offense in like 2 weeks. Sam Johnson said he is one of the smartest football guys he has ever been around. They spend hours watching film, learning together. He's the energy guy. It's contagious for everybody, which they have to have right now. All about seizing an opportunity in a tough situation. That's what he tells his teammates. The team loves what he's brought.
A guy who had some success starting at North Alabama a few years back. Fourth down and 3. Hicks is stood up in the hole by Xavier Williams, and it's a turnover on downs, but a late flag comes in.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 36. Defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
So it stays with Oklahoma State after the unnecessary roughness on Williams.
Wait, shouldn't that go the opposite way? If it's a fourth down play, did that happen in the play or after the play? After the play's blown dead. If it's after the play's blown dead, the ball should go to Cincinnati, and it's 15 yards tacked on to Cincinnati. And I think that's what the officials are talking about. Was it a post-play foul, or was that a foul within the play? And I think that's what these officials are huddling up about right now. That should be a post-play foul.
Scott Satterfield thinking what you were thinking. In the officials conference here, Michael Vandervelde is the white hat.
After discussion, the foul occurred at the 33-yard line. On fourth down, it was a dead ball. Ball goes over, Cincinnati, 1st and 10.
So there you have it. It is a turnover on downs for Scott Satterfield and his defense. Hey, we've got a Week 7 Monday Night Football doubleheader. Bucs-Lions at a special start time of 7 Eastern on ESPN and ABC. Then Texans-Seahawks on ESPN. Both games also available on ESPN Deportes and the ESPN app, and coverage kicks off at 3 with NFL Live, and a great quarterback play all over the place in that one.
Yeah, but the energy over at 231 right here, this fan base, the no-shirt zone over in section 231, I'm giving them props. They have been here from the beginning of the game, still here. Look at the crowd, it's grown. Section 231. This is awesome.
The Bananas have gone shirtless as well.
The Bananas have joined the crew.
Saw the Oklahoma State women's basketball coach, J.C. Hoyt, here as well earlier. Manny Covey breaks a couple of tackles and carries it inside the 40 with a 9-yard pickup. All right, so big picture with Cincinnati. How good do you think this team is? They're about to be 6-1 overall, 4-0 in the Big 12.
I think, look, if Brendan Sorsby can continue to play the way that he's playing, lights out, this offensive line continues to block. I mean, to me, Mike, they have an opportunity. Now, like, they've got some big games coming up. Baylor next week. I mean, Utah right now is in a big game with BYU, who they have later on, and they finished the season at TCU, who had a big win over Baylor today. So the path is definitely difficult, but we'll see if Sorsby can handle it.
ESPN College Football Primetime is presented by Geico Switch and Save. Get more with Geico.
Welcome back to ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Geico. Pete's Peelers. I mean, this is unbelievable. Section 231. If you don't know the origin story, it started with one fan last week here in Stillwater. It turned into a whole section up there, and you can't wear your shirt. Cincinnati is rolling. We've got inside of 2 minutes to go. Cincinnati trying to finish off what would be its largest road win since 2019, and they have renamed the section up there.
No more 231, it's no shirty one. I love this. This is what college football is all about, embracing. Look, the play on the field is what it is, right? But to have something to cling on in a season that has not been your best.
They're down by 32.
That place is going off.
It's been 700 days since they won a Big 12 game. And Cincinnati looking to get to 6-1, 4-0 in the Big 12. Where do you think they fit against the other best teams? These are the odds right now. With a win tonight, they'd have a 28% chance to get to the conference title game.
Well, they're at home next week versus Baylor. It's a pesky team. Sawyer Robertson, those guys. And Utah, they go to Utah, Arizona, BYU. I mean, the schedule is not going to be easy. I think that's why you see that percentage relatively low, because they've got a gauntlet of games in the second half of the schedule. But if you get the quarterback play that you're getting from Brendan Sorsby, you've got a try. You got a chance. You got an opportunity.
Covey again, third down coming up. So the remaining schedule for Scott Satterfield looks like this. You got Utah, like you said, battling right now with BYU. You're going to host BYU at Nippert as well. Arizona, TCU, Baylor. I mean, they've all had good moments this year.
Correct. You just don't want them to have their best game against you, but I mean, a lot to build on here. You've got some turnovers defensively, which you've been craving for all season long for Cincinnati, and then Sorsby playing the way that he has. You got some things going in your direction.
Lichtenberg, the option pitch. And a sure-handed tackle on Dakari Anderson. And that will wind things down to finish this one off in Stillwater. Cincinnati storms to a 49-17 win. Scott Satterfield's Bearcats are bowl eligible on October 18th.
Wow, say that again? That's awesome.
Bowl eligible in the middle of October for Brendan Sorsby and Cincinnati.
I think sometimes we forget about that. This team, 2 years, have not played in the postseason. 2 previous seasons have not played in the postseason. Let's not take that for granted. This is year 3 of Scott Satterfield, and to see this team bowl eligible, look like they're in the thick of this Big 12 race, that's tip of the cap to Coach Satterfield and the Bearcats.
Let's go down to Don with Brendan Sorsby.
Yes, with Brendan Sorsby. Listen, I know that there are bigger goals for this team, but bowl eligible for the first time since 2022. What does that mean to you and for this program?
Yeah, it means a lot, but like you just said, it's not our end goal. You know, we want to be in Dallas at the end of the year. This is just another step towards that. We're definitely going to celebrate it. We're excited that we're bowl eligible, but, we got a lot more work left.
All right, so wide receiver Cyrus Allen gave you a hard time last week. He said, I only have 1 catch. What's up with that? I know you said, I got you. Well, he ends up with 3 touchdowns today. What is that connection like?
Yeah, he comes into work every day. I always get on to him for saying a lot, but he really doesn't. He's not a diva like I make him out to be. He comes out and works every day, and then it shows up out here today, and, he ends up with 3 touchdowns in the first half. Ball's out, so, props to him for his hard work, and just got to keep this thing rolling.
You were 20 of 29 tonight. This offense just so efficient. Why?
Sat called a really good game, and we trusted his game plan and executed it. I think we did a really good job. Kind of fell asleep in the third quarter a little bit. A couple of mistakes here and there, so we got to clean that up. But overall, proud with our performance tonight for sure.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you.
Don Brendan Sorsby was excellent again in this offense. Explosive, talented, and just looking the part in every way. What we thought they'd be coming in, they lived up to it again.
Yeah, just a tremendous effort. Some things still to work on, but I think that this is a victory that you can build on. And now that you set yourself up 6-1, like my coaches used to always tell me, they only get bigger from here on out. Next week they go home and take on Baylor.
Cincinnati is bowl eligible, 6-1, and they remain perfect. One of just 2 teams in the Big 12 that can say so. They take down Oklahoma State, who was more competitive, but in the end, they drop another one. For Kirk Morrison, Don Davenport, and our entire crew, led behind the scenes by Caitlin Urka and Ed Curran, I'm Mike Monaco saying thanks for watching. So long from Stillwater. After the break, we'll head back to the studio with Kevin Connors and Trevor Matich.